Hi, it's me. You can call me Ari. Today we're going to be doing an animal beetle. If you don't know what an animal beetle is, it's when an animal has beetle-like features, such as hard shell, a tail, or whatever you want, really. So let's begin. We're gonna start with the head. I'm gonna make this into a circle. The head of a beetle is usually a little bit more round than a lot of other animals. I'm just making this in general shape, so we can kind of go off of that. Once you have your general shape done, you can come in with a slightly smaller circle for the mouth area. This is where you add all of your facial features, like the eyes, the antenna, any extra features that you might want to add, like whiskers or anything like that, and then we'll fill these out later. For the mouth area, I'm just using a small oval. You can use whatever shape you want. It doesn't really matter. From here, we're gonna now draw 2 lines coming out from the mouth area, just to give it a little bit more definition. And then from here, I'm going to draw 2 dots for the eyes. For the eyebrows, I'm just going to make a slight curve going up like that. You can make it as dramatic as you want. And then for the antenna, we're just going to do 2 long lines. 1, 2. Now I am gone. Nah. Erase the parts of the mouth that are covered by the upper lip there and the bottom of the mouth. Just clean those up a little bit. We don't need those anymore. There we go. That's all we need for the face. Now we can move on to the body. The body of a beetle is generally a lot chunkier than other animals. I guess it depends on the type of beetle, but I'm just giving you kind of like a general guideline of how to draw a beetle. If you want to make it more realistic, you can look up different types of beetles and see which ones you like best and kind of go from there. But for now, I'm just making it kind of like a generic beetle. So I am gone, nah, take my pen, and I am gone, nah, make the body kind of like a large oval shape. Again, you can make it whatever shape you want. You can make it like a giant circle if you want, but I'm just making a large oval, kind of like this. From here, we're going to connect the head to the body with a line, a slightly curved line. Usually, the neck area of a beetle is kind of short and stubby. So we're just going to make it kind of like a little line like that. Connect the 2 together. Then we're going to come down and add some more lines to give it more definition. So I am gone, nah, make this line here come from the top of the head down across the body like that. I'm going to make one more line just kind of angling over like that. This is enough to give it a lot of definition. If you want to do legs, you can do legs pretty easily. You can do 4. You can do 6, however many you want, however long you want them to be. I'm just going to do 4 legs for now. So I'm going to draw a line going straight down from the body. This will be the thigh area of the leg, and then we'll make the knee area. Just make a slight bend like that. Now we'll do the lower portion of the leg. I'm going to add a small oval for the knee, and then from here, we're just going to add a line going down for the shin area. Now we'll add the foot last. You can make this into whatever shape you want. A lot of insects have like a 3-segmented foot. You can make it into claws if you want, but I'm just going to make it kind of like a small oval for now. And then you can add lines to the foot to give it more definition. If you want to, you could also add these to the legs. You can add like little spikes or anything like that to the legs if you would like. You can also go ahead and add the belly area. This is under the body, under the thorax and the head. I'm just going to make this into a slightly smaller circle. This doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything specific, just whatever you want. If you want to add wings, you can do that pretty easily as well. Wings are kind of like a membrane, so you can make them somewhat transparent, or you can make them a little bit more opaque. I'm just going to make mine kind of like a light brown color. You can make them whatever color you want. They can be the same color as the body. Again, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to make these wings kind of like a teardrop shape. So I'm going to draw one wing first. I'm going to make it kind of like a large teardrop shape, and then I'm just going to flip it over and copy it like that. And then if you want, you can add lines going through the wing just to give it more definition. Now, I'm just going to draw some veins in the wing. These don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be anything specific. I'm just drawing them kind of like a random shape. If you want to make these more realistic, you can look up pictures of insect wings and you can kind of copy the veins from there, but I'm just making mine more generic. So I'm just going to add some random lines like that. From here, we're going to move on to the details. For the details, I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller pen. You can use whatever pen size you want. It doesn't really matter, and I'm going to start adding lines to the body just to give it more definition. You can do this however you want. You can make them longer, shorter, thicker, thinner, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to add some random lines going across the body like that. Now I am gone. Now come back to the head and I am gone. Now add some more detail there. So I am gone. Now make some lines going down from the eyebrow area, just to give it a little bit more definition. I'm going to make the eye slightly larger. I'm going to make it kind of like a circle shape. You can make it into a triangle if you want. I am just making it a circle, and then I am filling in the center with a small dot. I am gone. Now, add some lines to the mouth area, just to give it a little bit more definition. I'm going to add a line going down from the nose to the mouth. This isn't a nose, obviously. This is a beetle. There's no nose, but I'm just calling it the nose for simplicity's sake. So I'm going to draw a line going down from the nose to the mouth like that. I'm going to add another line going across the mouth like that. And then I'm going to add some more lines to the body. I'm going to add a line going down from the top of the shoulder like that. And then I'm going to add a line going up from the bottom of the abdomen. You can add as many or as few lines as you want. I'm just adding a few to kind of give it a little bit more definition. First, I am gone. Now, add a line around the edge of the body just to give it a little bit more definition. I am gone. Now, add a line around the edge of the wing, just to give it a little bit more definition. Now I'm going to add some dots to the wing. You can do this however you want. I'm just going to make some small dots like this. There we go. Now we're done. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a like, and I will see you next time.